It can sometimes be quite tricky to work with hybrid drawings. This drawing has some symbols in it that come from landcadd and others are gCADPlus symbols. If we look at this particular symbol here, notice that its line weight has been set implicitly at 000 and its color is being determined by layer, and it's on a layer PLNT_BDF-sim. If we look at an adjoining symbol, an identical symbol with the same name, SPS07, SPS07, but this time the color is being inherited by layer and we're on layer 0. If I look at this symbol here, which comes from the gCADPlus set, everything is in fact set by layer. So it's a symbol called U-Plant Mini Shrub. It's on layer 0. But if I clicked in here and moved it to that same layer that was green, notice that the color doesn't change. Whereas if I move this one to that LPLNT symbol layer, the color changes to green. The reason that these symbols behave differently is they're set up differently, and it's quite complex. Let's pick this one and edit a block. If we come in here and we pick the outer line, notice that it's on that layer, creates that layer PLNT_SV foliage layer, shrub foliage. It creates that layer as the symbol's being inserted. Color's being determined by block, and the line weight's set at the thinnest line that the CAD program will print. However, if we click in here, the color is being determined by layer. So this is quite a complex symbol. It's color by block for the outer zone. I'm not sure about the arc here. Yeah, that's color by block. Inside here, color's been determined by layer. If we close the block editor, let's go and have a look at one of the symbols that comes with gCADPlus, and we edit it. We pick here, this time color's been set implicitly, not by a layer. So no matter what layer we insert this block on, that symbol will always show that color. You can of course change things quite easily. We could simply select all those. We're editing a block, and we could change the color if we didn't like that particular one. Let's make it red so that it stands out, and we close the block editor, and now I hope you can see the color does change. It's not, let me do that again. We'll make a change that's more obvious. We'll edit the block, then we'll change it to color magenta. That should give us a startling change as we close it. So can you see that the different ways that blocks are made? Let's move this one back onto layer 0, and I don't expect any change at all. So the blocks in the drawing are behaving somewhat differently. And this block is certainly going to behave differently as far as color is concerned with the outer and inner zones. That may be intentional, but it's important to understand differences between symbols in CAD drawings. It depends how the designer set them up. So it's also important to realize that if you are unhappy with any symbol, we can change all instances of 07 SHSP07 by simply selecting it, editing the block. We could, for the sake of argument, change from color and make color by layer now, or perhaps better still, let's make our color that bright orangey color, and we'll close. Now there's our color. So and not only it changes everywhere that symbol has been used. So there were 2 instances of it, and 2 copies of that symbol changed. None of this is a particular problem. It's just that you need to be aware of it when you're working in these sort of areas where you're mixing and matching symbols. My advice really would be to stick with one symbol set because there are important differences. I'd be inclined to work in one way or one system or in. Well, I've changed the background of the drawing to the standard black so that we can see symbols, and I want to show you the effect of moving or changing rather the properties of a symbol. If I select this one, it's inheriting color by layer. If I click by block, just changing the properties of the symbol, unselect all, you can see what happens. You may remember that when we chose the edit block option and we selected the outer boundary, it was on a layer, but its color was being determined by block, and the inner one's color was being determined by layer. So I'll close the block editor. It's not a problem, but it's another thing to be aware of, that changing your settings in here can have a big influence on the way things behave. If we brought in one of the other plant symbols from gCADPlus, you'd find that everything is either by layer or colours are set implicitly as the symbol is inherited. To illustrate, if we went in here and we said we'll just pick 3 of these lines here and we'll set colour to red and then close the block editor, now can you see when we come back into the drawing, all instances of that block are updated automatically, and it wouldn't matter what we did. Let's do this, let's pick it. What we did as far as inheriting colour, we'll say by block, and now we get the red lines and the white lines. So understanding blocks and understanding the way that the designer of the block creates the block is very important when you're managing or working in a hybrid environment.